Welcome to my review of the Viper 3, a new knife model by Tecnocut in Magnago, Italy. Over the past years, Magnago has become the most innovative center of cutlery in Europe. American and German companies have their knives produced in Magnago. We have seen some interesting innovations like Lion Steel's monoblock knife handles, the rotoblock system, Nilte introduced the pure backlock mechanism, and now Tecnocut comes up with an enhanced liner lock called Smart Lock. But before we get to the Smart Lock, let's take a look at some general features of the Viper 3. Tecnocut lists the Viper 3 in the tactical folder category. I don't care much about categories, but I know a beautifully designed knife when I see one. And this knife definitely comes with a great design. The 3 is available with black, green and brown G10 handle scales. All these handles are combined with either a stonewash finish blade like this or with a black PVD coated blade. And without any doubt, the all-black version of the 3 is in the tactical category. But this model doesn't look too aggressive. It's a practical EDC pocket knife in my opinion. If you want to call it tactical, I don't mind. As for the specs, the closed length is 121 millimeters. The total length is 210 millimeters. The blade length is 86 millimeters. And the blade thickness is 3.5 millimeters. The weight comes in at 123 grams. To give you a size comparison, here I've got a Spyderco Endura 4 and here I've got a Spyderco Tenacious. The blade shape is a drop-point design with a very moderate belly. If the tip was just a few millimeters further down, you could call it a sheepfoot style blade. The blade is full flat ground, comes with a nicely done stonewash finish and an unusually shaped but very comfortable opening hole. And like all other Viper knives, the spine of the blade is rounded. There is a thumb ramp with pretty effective jimping. As for the blade steel, Tecnocut mainly uses Böhler N690CO and D2 steel for their knives. The Viper 3 features D2, hardened to 58 to 60 HRC. As you all know, D2 is a well-proven tool steel. After using the knife quite a bit, I can definitely say that the edge retention is excellent. Now for the handle and the new Smart Lock system. The handle is designed for a full 4-finger grip. It has a finger guard. And you can attach a lanyard if you like. The pocket clip is right side tip down only, and it leaves about 1.5 centimeters exposed when clipped inside a pocket. The etching on the pocket clip tells us the name of the designers, Moreno Franzin and Tommaso Rumici. Moreno Franzin is an Italian inventor and also a skilled knife maker, but he's probably not so well known. The name Tommaso Rumici should ring a bell though. He is an Italian knife designer who didn't only team up with Tecnocut, but also with Fantoni, for example. He is a very nice guy. I met him at the IVA show this year, and Tommaso is sort of a colleague of mine. He's also a knife journalist. As for the Viper 3, Moreno Franzin is the inventor of the Smart Lock system, and Tommaso was more involved with the overall design of the knife. The handle is an open construction. There are 2 G10 scales and 1 stainless steel liner. The Smart Lock is basically a liner lock with 2 new features. First of all, the tang has a rectangular cutout, a 90-degree notch which stops the lock bar at 50%. And no matter how hard or how long you use the knife, the lock bar will never travel over to the right and get jammed or stuck. This feature alone is a very simple yet very effective improvement of the traditional liner lock. All parts are machined to very tight tolerances, but since the lock bar cannot freely adjust itself to the tang, there might be a tiny amount of blade play. This is where the second component of the smart lock comes into play, the spine slide. You don't have to use the slide, you can use the knife as is. You open the knife and you can use it right away like any other regular liner lock knife. In order to understand the function of the spine slide, we need to take a closer look at the liner. The liner is divided into two parts, as you can see here. Usually the liner looks like this. The upper part is one piece and the lower part, including the lock bar, is another piece. And this lower part has a certain degree of freedom of rotation. It can rotate around this point. I hope you can see the movement of the lock bar. Just watch the lock bar. I push the slide back and the liner moves in this direction. It moves towards the tang. How does it work? Let me show you a schematic view of the system. Here you can clearly see that the lower part of the liner is a separate piece. And you can also see the spine slide. The slide is guided by an eyelet in the liner and by a track in the second G10 scale that has been removed in this view. The eyelet in the liner and the opposite track in the G10 scale have different inclinations. So if you push the slide backwards or to the right in this view, what happens is that the liner rotates towards the blade tang and the lock bar gets blocked. Let's see it in action. I open the knife, I push back the slide, and the lock bar gets pressed into the tang. It rotates towards the tang. And now the lockup is rock solid with absolutely no play. Also, the lock bar doesn't move, so you cannot accidentally disengage the lock. In order to disengage the lock, you have to bring the slide forward again, like so. And now you can close the knife. Once again, open the knife, push the slide back, and you are good to go. No blade play at all. In my opinion, the smart lock is a very clever and reliable system which adds an extra amount of safety to the traditional liner lock. My only complaint is that there is no tactile feedback on when the slide is actually in its final position. I always have the feeling I could push it back a bit further. The other thing is that you have to use your thumbnail, which is a bit cumbersome. I don't manage to push the slide far enough back, only with the surface of my thumb. But that's probably just me. All in all, I really enjoy the Viper Free, and I can recommend it as a sturdy, general-purpose EDC folder. The collaboration with Moreno Franzin and Tommaso Rumici really paid off. It's a great overall design, and the smart lock system is definitely an improvement in terms of safety. The handling needs getting used to. I hope you enjoyed my review. Thanks for watching. Take care.